everyone to another Black Create Connect podcast episode. We are here in the studio with some special guests. It's your one and only Alicia, the founder of Black Create Connect, that's here with these guests. And I'm going to get them to introduce themselves because I met them on a very special trip that we're going to talk about today. And I want them to plug themselves, talk about themselves, and we're going to unlock and unfold what the trip was like for us, what it did for us. Without further ado, let's welcome Denise, Bolaji, Sinead up in the studio.
Hey. Thanks for having me.
How you all feeling?
I'm good. The weather isn't the weather reminding us of being in Cannes as well, because it's for me.
It's giving sunlight.
Yeah, I was saying it was perfect timing. I think this is the great time that you decided to do this because yesterday raining and
tomorrow as well.
It's iffy. The sun came out for us.
Yeah.
Should we say melanin's coming out, so the sun will have to shine. Do you know what I mean? But let's do our intro. So Denise, would you like to just introduce who you are, everything about you?
Yes. So my name is Denise Maxwell. I'm a photographer at Lensi Photography. I cover various genres of photography, so everything from campaigns, commercial work, sports. I was one of the Commonwealth Games photographers, fashion, so I shoot London Fashion Week and possibly Paris this year as well. So a wide variety of photography, mainly based around corporate and commercial stuff rather than family stuff. So that's me, Lensi Photography.
Shout you out! Denise, you're humble, you know. These are some accolades you have against your name. Shout you out, Denise. And also, for those that haven't seen it yet, if you go onto Denise's page, she took some amazing shots in Cannes. Some shots. Have you added them to the Google Drive?
I haven't got around. Do you know what? Every time I mean to get around to putting something on the Google Drive, I start and then I get a call or an email and something else has to be done. So I haven't added anything to the Google Drive yet. I have meant to. I've clicked on the link. I got as far as clicking on the link.
Okay.
I haven't even done that far.
It's fine. I'm sure we have until the end of the year to deal with that. So it's all good. Take your time. But welcome. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
And then we have Bolaji. Bolaji's special, you know, everyone. He's a very, very special man because he just knows everything. And I want him to introduce himself, plug everything. He's an amazing person to connect with. Bolaji, go ahead.
Thank you, Alicia. So my name is Bolaji Olatoye. I'm an ex-corporate turned entrepreneur. To be fair, I've always been an entrepreneur, but I'm now running my business full time. And what I do is automations. So I help people achieve anything through automations, whether it's sales or operations. And I'm also a business coach, and I have my own software that I license. I'm happy that I met some really amazing people at Cannes. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Bolaji. Again, very, very humble, because what he was telling us off camera about some of the achievements that he's made. Okay, very humble, but welcome, Bolaji.
Thank you.
And then we have Rich Auntie herself, style on them. She's smart, sophisticated. She's killing it as well. She's worked in tech, all sorts now in DEI. Give it up for Sinead.
Thank you for having me. So hi everyone, Sinead Rose. So I actually dabble, as Alicia said, in a few things. So my main bread and butter is actually in the world of tech, as Alicia said. So I'm part of the Salesforce Equality Leadership Team. We are the first of its kind in EMEA, so Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I'm leading specifically the equality enablement and development pieces that span across 56,000 employees. But outside of that, I also run a UK-based charity called We Are We that focuses on the eradication of period poverty. And then from my entrepreneur side, me and my partner, we actually run a construction company. So we buy land in the UK and we build commercial spaces, residential properties and houses. So quite a lot of things. I'm really excited to share more about that.
Woof.
Thank you.
Welcome, Sinead. As Sinead was speaking, I just saw money fluttering in the room. Just invisible dollars. I was like, yeah, I can see it. No, honestly, it's been amazing to connect with all of you from the back of Cannes. How are we feeling post Cannes, by the way? Like, what's everyone's mood? And you can talk however you want to talk. Yeah. No order.
I'm still feeling in awe of it, and I'm still kind of taking bits in. Each time a new set of photos come out, I'm like, So I'm still telling everybody about it. Literally, all my friends when I speak to my friends, I'll say, "Have I told you about Cannes yet?" They're like, "Yeah."
They're like, yeah, we heard it before.
So I'm literally telling everybody because I just think it was just for me. It was just amazing from start to finish. So I'm still kind of on that high as well.
Trust me, I'm still trying to come down from the high, you know. And every time I try and come down, then I'll see someone post like a little snippet, or I'll see one of the highlights in the WhatsApp group, and then we'll, you know, I think for me, I'm still living the experience, but my body is feeling it, right?
Yeah,
because I was tired before Cannes, and I've not really fully recovered. I went straight back into things. So my spirit is up, but my body is down.
But why do we need to come off the high though? Can't we just stay there?
It's
like
true.
For as long as it lasts.
Yeah,
I'm still on the high and I'm staying there for as long as I can. To be honest, hence why we're even here still talking about it.
And I also feel like, you know, in addition to like the pictures and videos, there's also the connections. So it's like you've actually made genuine, authentic friendships with people, where it's like, because you made the friendships there, anytime their name pops up on the phone or you speak to them, it just takes you back always. So I'm always living there too.
I feel like the legacy of this connection is always going to be there. Like, even if you meet in 5 years' time, we're going to remember where Blackout Cannes, that's how you met, that's how we connected.
Yeah, so true.
Going back before Cannes, right, why did each of you want to go to Cannes in the first place? Like, what made you want to say, do you know what, I want to go to Cannes?
Do you know, I didn't actually know about Cannes Lions. I knew about the film festival because I think that's everywhere. And I didn't actually know about Lions, even though one of my friends actually shoots there. She's a photographer and she covers some of the events. And she didn't really talk about it with any type of passion. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to Cannes next week. I've got to cover this job and that job. And I can't remember how I found out about what it was. I remember seeing the post on Sepasi's page that it was for creatives. And I'm a person that applies for everything, like whether I know about it or not. So I don't think I actually still really knew what it was, but I applied for it. Well, you can figure it out.
Be honest.
Yeah, I applied for it, and I knew it was for creatives. And obviously I know that Cephas is a photographer as well. So I was thinking with all those links, I think it should be something that would be useful for me. And then when I got the email to say that I'd been accepted, then I went online and started Googling. And I'm seeing lots of beaches and I'm confused because I'm like, what are all these beaches? Like, where's the work? Like, where's the serious side of it? Because it didn't really add up for me. So I kind of went into it still unsure of a lot of things. So, I applied because I applied for a lot of things.
But that's good though.
It is, because when I think... So with me, it's slightly different. So I didn't apply, but it's because with Cephas, he has the British Black Network, and that's also in partnership with Salesforce. So Salesforce is one of the partners. So I always was able to plug in from that conversational lens around diversity and what can we do from a strategy point of view. So Salesforce was able to sponsor myself and David, who isn't here, but big up you, David. And that's how we were able to go last year. Whereas this year, we were just able, I think it was just through the impact that we did last year that I was able to make it through again this year. So hopefully it becomes like something that happens every year, but you know.
Before you went last year, did you know anything about Cannes Lions?
Absolutely nothing, honestly. It was only through Cephas, through the Black British Network, and then I literally did what you did. Online researching. I couldn't even pronounce the word Cannes properly.
I was saying Cannes up until when I got there, and I was like, let me not embarrass myself.
Yeah, so people aren't saying the S. People aren't saying it this way.
I didn't really know what Cannes was. So when I spoke to Cephas, he told me about it. I was all the while thinking, okay, it's the Cannes Film Festival. So I thought, okay, that kind of makes sense.
So were you getting your suit ready and all that?
I mean, that's why I was always in a suit. No,
He was always in a suit.
No, Bolaji, can I just say, on the first day of Cannes, Bolaji, you stressed me out. You was literally stressing me out. I was like, why are you in a suit, bro? I'm here sweating in a dress, like, and you're in a suit.
The thing is, once you get to know me, I wear more layers than I'm supposed to wear. I just like wearing jackets. I don't know what it is about me. But in terms of Cannes, I just thought it was, it made sense because, obviously he's into like media and creative. So I thought, okay, Cannes Film Festival. But then he sent me the link and it was like, oh, okay, it's a creative festival. And I got involved because, he wanted me to, I guess, help out. And I had no expectation. He said, he told me to check out some of the people that were going to be there to see if it would be beneficial to connect. And I did. But I think the experience, never fully really dawned on me what it was until like I was there and I was experiencing it, and it's still kind of dawning on me today. Like, wow, this was special. Do you know what I mean? So that's my perspective.
Do you know what's crazy? Cannes was exactly how I imagined it. Really? So yeah, which is really strange because I only found out about it last year when the applications and stuff happened and everyone went, and then so I had a whole year to look up on it and to get excited on it. So I looked at videos, pictures, I spoke to people, and I'm so visual, so I always visualize things before I see it. Even when I talk to a guy online, I think, what's he gonna look like in person? What's he gonna wear? Like, how's he gonna look? Like, no, literally. If I go for a job interview,
she went down a whole.
No. Just no. I know, but literally, I do that so much. But even if I go for a job interview, I think, okay, what's the interview gonna be like? I wonder what they're gonna be wearing. Like, I like to visualize things before it happens. So when I got there, I felt like, oh yeah, this is what I saw, and I feel like I don't know about anyone else, but I visualize a lot. I visualized the other day, all of us like in a mansion just having a good time. I promise you, I visualize. Yeah, because I feel like when you visualize things, it just comes to life.
Yeah.
I don't know how you all feel about that.
I do.
About that theory. Definitely. So yeah, it came to life. But it was, that's how I kind of felt about it beforehand. But just to understand from you all, after going to Cannes, what would you say the most impact has been from going to Cannes on your career specifically, if it has had any? I know it's only been a couple of weeks, so you can't see the long-term results yet, but what do you think one of the biggest impacts have been?
I think definitely my network, right? Because you are in like a place where there are so many influential people or people that are like passionate about what they do. So as long as your branding is there and you're kind of prepared for opportunities, they tend to just always come. There's always like, for instance, if we think about the WhatsApp group, someone's always dropping something in the WhatsApp group like, hey, does anyone know X or things like that. So for me, it was mostly just connecting with some people there and seeing how I can plug myself in from like a quality point of view to be like a consultant or help with their strategy and things like that. And many do actually want to continue the conversation. And then on the other side, as I've said, I've built really good friendships with people that I thought I would never cross paths with. So again, plugging myself in and being able to navigate my career that way. Yeah.
Are there any standout connections for you? From any standout connections?
100%. Xavier Jernigan from Spotify.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. Did you all meet him?
No.
DJ X.
DJ X.
Fantastic. What's been the connection there?
He's just amazing. I've been able to have a Zoom chat with him
amazing.
Since. He's like literally told me about his career, how he was navigating things. He's just like really open to share like nuggets of information. But even beyond that, it's like a genuine friendship has been built. And I would never have put myself in a position or thought I would ever actually cross paths with someone like that. And it was as simple as just I was in a beach at the right time and we connected. So yeah, I'm just excited. He's going to be coming to London to do some stuff for business, and I definitely want to like connect. Yeah. So putting yourself out there and just like, making those friendships.
That's amazing.
I think that's one of the things about Cannes, that like the most random things happen in the most random of places. I don't know if you saw when Nads was doing push-ups on the beach with that guy.
No.
Coody.
Yeah. Coody, who did Kanye West's documentary. And she's there doing push-ups with him on the beach, a push-up competition. It's like, okay.
Wait, what time of the day was this?
It was in the daytime.
This is Cannes, everyone, by the way.
Like 2 p.m. max. Yeah.
Just mad.
Just randomly. And I think that's the thing about it for me, that it's just so randomly amazing, just so randomly surprising. And like you said, the networks and the connections that you make, that you would probably never would cross paths with that person. Yeah. You might be in the same building and they'll be in a completely different room, or they'll be in an area that's not accessible to you. Yeah, exactly. Something. But all of a sudden, people are next to you on the beach or at the bar or sat across from you or...
No, that's true. And the thing is, and I feel like because you're there, there's like, not disrespect, but there's this respect in it.
Yeah.
Because you're just there. So I remember when I was there, I was with Pablo and we saw Will I Am.
Right.
And was going into Lyft and we were just chatting, was talking about his app. And it's weird because I didn't see him as Will I Am in that moment. I just saw him as, I was like, oh, you've accomplished great things, but you seem really cool, like in general. Because if he gave me any different energy, I just wouldn't talk to him. But he was really cool, and most people are really, really cool. But I think a lot of questions that I've had that I'd love for, again, anyone to kind of answer that as well before I go on to impactful moments for both of you, is when you're in that space and there's someone to connect with, how do you do it in a way that works for you? What tips would you share for that? Because not everyone knows, especially being black. Let's be 100%.
Yeah, I don't think I'm great at this.
I mean, I did have a couple of conversations with people. I think notably there was someone I met at the campaign, and I have this kind of, I still need to connect with him, but he was one of the sponsors. And for me, I just find being a conversationalist helps. And when you talk to somebody, you know, don't make it about any agenda. It's just getting to know them getting to know you, and it helps to, I think, in life have interesting things to talk about, right? So you've been places, you've seen things, you've experienced bits that if a conversation happens where you can draw from that, you can kind of like, I kind of consider it like almost like lyrical tennis.
Okay,
You go, I go, you go, I go, but it's like we're vibing, you know. So and then afterwards we've established that, oh wow, we're both interesting people and we're kind of similarly interested in some similar things. You know, how do we keep the conversation going? You know, so that's kind of the approach that I took. Just take interest in people and try and be interesting. You know what I mean? So yes.
That makes sense. However, I've got a caveat to that.
Okay.
Not a caveat, but like, for example, at campaign, a lot of people are in huddles, we're in groups, and you're standing there.
Yeah.
How, as an introvert, I don't think any of us are really introverts like that. I don't know.
am.
Or maybe a little bit. Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
As an introvert, how do you navigate that when everyone's just huddled up? Do you go, hey, excuse me? Or like, what do you do?
That's not what an introvert does, though. And I think that you have to kind of accept that some situations you won't kind of be able to get in on that conversation. And that's okay, because then there'll be another conversation that may happen at the bar, or somebody might like your dress, or you might like somebody's just random other stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to accept the fact that you won't get in on every conversation. Yeah. And not every, you know, that not every conversation's for you. I think that's fine.
Yeah, and because I've experienced it twice. I've experienced the campaign party twice, right? So last year and this year, very different. So last year, you know, when we went as a smaller group, I would definitely say I was that person in the corner. Like, it was very nerve-wracking. It was, you just didn't know what to expect. And again, out of the comfort zone, especially as an introvert, not really wanting to insert yourself in to conversations. Whereas this year, because I already knew what was happening, I was able to kind of prep myself a bit more in
Sinead
advance
was flexing.
to say like,
Be like, let's go.
yeah. But what was the blessing was last year, a lady, she literally saw some of us like huddling on the sidelines, and she was like, you guys are too powerful and beautiful to be at the sides. And she literally grabbed my hand and took me to a section of a conversation, and she inserted me in and she pushed me out. And I saw her again this year. I saw her again this year, and we just looked at each other, and she's like, oh my gosh, hi. So again, I think for me, where like the memories are is the people you saw last year, and they're still coming back, and they remember you, and it's like through the relationships and convos, it's powerful, man.
That's so sweet. Shout out to that lady, whoever she is.
We need more people like that.
Yeah, she wasn't having it.
So, no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's
Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna add about like, because it sounds like we've established there's some introvertedness. You know, I'm an introvert. It seems like we have some introvertedness here. I believe in proactiveness, right? So proximity is what they call power. So I would always recommend just putting yourself in situations, and how you could do it, and how, you know, I tried to do it while I was in Cannes. Just walk around, right? So if I'm in a huddle with all of my people, I'm gonna see you guys like back at the villa, or I'm going to see you guys, you know, at the whatever thing that we're doing tonight. But right here, let me try and mix. And sometimes I'll bump into people and sometimes I won't. But I actually spent some time just walking with my drink and walking around. You know, if I hear some conversations, can I come in? Can I not? You know, basically, if I can be in a situation where it can create a conversation, then let's see how the conversation goes. But be intentional just about, you know, seeing what's there. And sometimes nothing came of it. And sometimes, you know, I got in some really good conversations.
Can I actually ask everyone a question here? Was there an experience where it actually was awkward? Like, you don't necessarily have to go into too much detail, but was there a time where you did insert yourself in a conversation or you were networking with someone and it just was not clicking?
100%.
And how did you remove yourself out of that? What was that like? You know?
100%. Like,
I don't think I had any of those.
There was one on the airport.
Oh, the airport.
what happened to the airport?
Oh,
There
the
was one at the airport.
airport.
I know, you know what I'm
But
talking
I kind
about.
of left it to you.
Wait, what happened to the airport? We need to know the airport now.
It was going
Coming
back. So
back-
basically, we
coming
were
back
on the
home.
high. We had just the best experience I can. We were like, yes,
Yeah.
this is the best week of my life. And then just one guy. There's this one guy. He's older, you know, Caucasian, and
You can say white.
yeah, he was right. I don't know where this is going.
No, it's fine, it's fine. We're not cussing anyone. We're just saying what it was.
I'm still on LinkedIn, people. But yeah, so he was an older guy, and I think he was like an influencer expert or something like that, and he was giving tips on how to be on LinkedIn. But then he started talking about, I don't know how we got into that part of the conversation.
It was one of those conversations
At the airport?
where-
Literally,
yeah,
like, he
we're
was in our
the
queue for
we're in the queue.
security.
Oh.
Do you know sometimes when some white people do that thing where they suddenly make a link with all the black people they know
Literally.
in their lives? So was talking
I've
about
had some
his
black
work,
girlfriends,
and he was
yeah.
like, "Oh, I've had a lot of black girlfriends."
Yeah.
He said that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know like where it came from.
It didn't come from
No, do you know what it
anywhere.
was? I think he said, I told him my name,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "Oh, where's that from?" And he said, "Is it?"
No, I know what he
No,
said.
yeah, what was it?
So he said, "Is that from such and such a place?"
Yeah.
And then you said, "Yeah, how do you
How
know?"
did you know? And I was even like, I
and
was
then
impressed.
And then he goes, "Oh, because I've had some black girlfriends." He said, then he started talking about how many of his girlfriends have been black and his
Yeah.
videographers black, etc.
Yeah.
But then he also went into a strange thing with Bolaji about because he tried to guess which country your name was from.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the conversation went somewhere along the lines of, "Oh, it must be there because it was difficult to pronounce."
Yeah. Yeah.
Your DE&I.
Literally.
And then you came back very quick.
Thing is, I don't even know what I said, but
I know
think
what you
just-
said. You
I
were
just-
like, you said something like,
Wild.
"Oh, is that where all the difficult names are from?" Then
Yeah, I was just like, off the top of my head, yeah.
Bolaji was quick. He was like,
Alicia,
but
you
the
need to
thing
go
is-
on your training.
No,
your training.
honestly, but the thing
Straight.
is, like, sometimes they just don't think. Like, even yesterday when I was at an event,
Yeah.
one guy said to me, "Oh yeah, we've got a DEI director that started." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What is she?" He's like, "Oh, she's BAME." I was like, "She's BAME." Like, is she black? Is she Asian? Is she like what? Like, what is
She's
she?
just other.
Like, don't like you can't group her all together.
that term.
Likewise with the hair business.
Wow.
Obviously, I had my long locks yesterday
Yeah.
again. Oh wow, your hair. I was like, "Thank you, it's really nice." She's like, "So how long did that take to grow?" And I was thinking, this isn't my hair. You can see the
Do you
black.
know what? Do you know what though? Some
They
people
really
don't. You know,
believe
Is
one
it?
of my friends, an Asian friend who I was
think
working
it's
with.
here.
So one day I went in with my hair afro because my hair is normally in an afro, and then I had the plaits done. Like I literally left work that day, had the plaits done, went back into work with the plaits, and he was really puzzled. He was like, "So." And you could see him wanting to ask something and like, I was trying to skirt around all the issue. And he's like, "But how come it's longer than it was yesterday?" And I literally had to talk him through like, it's extension.
Yeah.
To plait the hair in.
Yeah,
So some
definitely.
people genuinely don't know. He said, "I was really puzzled."
No, a lot of them are as well. And I explained it to her, and I was like, "No," I was like, "Black in my hair," and I actually showed her. I was like, "This is where my hair stops, and this is the rest of the hair." She's like, "Wow." I was like, "Yeah, you can get it done. Like, if you really wanted to, do you know what I mean?" Anyway, we've kind of completely diverted, but yeah.
It was very, we started talking about like African women as well. Like the conversation.
Yeah, I kind of
was
like,
tuning
I
out.
then just started to kind of like, just carry on
yeah.
with my cue.
Okay.
It was
And I
very
left it to
awkward.
the
Very
Bolaji.
awkward.
Sorry, mate,
Oh
but
no.
it was just, at that time, I just kind of thought like, what are you talking about?
And you know how long that queue was?
I know. So you're talking to him for the whole time. That's so
Literally, yeah.
awkward. I'm not gonna lie. My headphones are going in. Hello,
I
mum.
made the
Yeah,
mistake because I was like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, this could be networking mode. So I was like, okay, let's have a chat.
No.
And then it started going into this. I was like, oh, what have I gotten myself into?
and you couldn't get yourself out of it as well. Do you know what'd be funny if you sat beside him on a plane?
Mate.
That would have been so funny.
If you sat beside him on a hilarious. But yeah, even to answer your question, there was a time at campaign. So my networking style is probably a bit more absurd to everyone else's. I just approach people. So there was one person in particular that I approached, and I was like, "Hey, you right?" And he just looked at me, and I was like, "You okay?" I was like, "You okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I just don't feel like talking." He told that to me at campaign, and I said, "Why? What's up?" I was like, "Why don't you feel like talking?" He was like, "I'm just tired. I've been around for long." And I was like, "Do you know what? I get it." And so I think if I was an introverted character, I would have just stepped away quickly. But I was like, I was like, what's up? What's going on? You're a human being, so something's happening. And he kind of went into his week, and he worked for campaign and how exhausted he was. And then we connected on LinkedIn, and that was it. So I think there's always, if you always bring the energy, no matter what it is, there can be a whole dump place. If you're bringing good vibes, it's fine. The smell won't even bother you. Do you know what I mean? In whatever situation, I feel like just bring whatever energy you can, and it can be the best it can be.
Have you always been like that though? Or is it through practice?
Do you know what? I used to work for a sales company back in the day where we had to do cold calling. It was like a Wolf of Wall Street type of thing.
Really good. It's really good practice. Having to talk to people.
When you do, listen, I've been sworn at, phone's been hung up. I've gone for a whole pitch for someone to be interested to say no. Nothing bothers me. I don't really, I was like, okay, cool. Next, for me, again, is continue to be nice, continue to be consistent, continue to be yourself as well. People can come back. I've had clients come back a year later and say, I remember meeting you at this event and you were pleasant, so come back. Just be cool. So for me, I don't care about the rejection, you know.
I definitely noticed that about you in Cannes. The energy was always, now that you've said it, it makes sense, bringing the energy, and the energy was always
Agreed.
good, positive, good vibes.
Thank God.
No matter what was going on. So,
We thank God. Yeah. But yeah, likewise as well. I never saw you saw any of you on looking.
I don't think anybody really was on.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was too much good vibes.
Yeah. It was just it was infectious. It was infectious.
I think the most is that some people were tired because some people didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, I was zero energy. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was tired. But impactful moments. So we haven't gone through you, Bolaji and Denise. Whoever wants to go.
I think impactful moments for me, it was like the whole thing was like a moment, if that makes sense, and it was just the impact was, it was dawning on me how impactful it was. I would say the most thing that I took away from it was actually the community of people. You mentioned earlier on that there's you use the term money, and it's it's a rich community, rich in materials, but also rich in knowledge and rich in just all of the experience and that stuff. And it's a family, so I definitely feel like I have gone in with one family and I've come back with a bigger family. Do you know what I mean? And that, to me, that was the best part, because now I'm I put things together in my head, so I know, okay, do you know what? Now I can go to this person for this, I can go to that person for that, and I know this person needs this, I've got this for this person. So it's that for me, I love the whole interconnectedness of what we can do together.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with much of that. Saying the whole week was impactful. When I speak to my friends about it, and they say, what was your highlight? I say from start to finish, everything. Everything was a highlight. Every day I'd wake up and it was still surprising for me where I was and the people that were delivering workshops and who I was mixing with and who I was getting to know every day. Just felt like a blessing.
Yeah.
I do some work with emerging photographers, and one of the things I always say to emerging photographers, and I guess this applies for emerging creatives as well, is that to create your tribe. Create the people that you can have them on to, create the people that will have your back in certain situations, create the people that will have knowledge in areas that you don't have, etc. And I feel like I've got a bigger tribe. So exactly what Bolaji is saying, it's extending those networks, it's extending people that you feel you can trust and you feel have the knowledge and the experience to be able to give the answers to certain questions, and also you'll be able to do the same in return. So I mean the 50 people that Seth has put together, I'm just without even networking outside of the 50 people, Like the 50 people.
It's enough.
There was a lot inside.
Come
that 50.
on.
Yeah, definitely.
It was enough.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like when I'm seeing
Absolutely.
what everyone does, I'm just like, you're actually sick. There was one day, I went into the boys' room. I think it was Kofi, Benji, Sam, a couple of them, and I just intruded in them. And I was just observing and just listening to their conversation and seeing them show each other stuff. And I was like, you guys are so sick. Like it makes me so happy, especially when sometimes you might feel like you're alone in this journey of creativity and being a bit abstract and being an entrepreneur. You might feel alone sometimes. Yeah. So it's nice to feel like you have people on the journey with you. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Or the black people as well.
Exactly.
That makes such a difference. Like for me, I'm probably one of the older ones of the group, and for me to see so many young people just smashing it and with everything so together at that age, I'm just like, wow. Just like, wow, I need more people to know about you because just wow.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, outside of the the networking, were there any particular talks or panel discussions that were stand out to you, or any particular activations like beaches or lounges or whatever that was like, this was the place to be?
Spotify was quite the place. The food was amazing. Food was on point. Yeah, the hosting. I liked how they kind of had everything set out as well. It was very. It kind of encouraged more conversation between people, etc. So I think a lot of us spent a lot of time at Spotify.
I'm still upset I didn't get my coconut.
Oh, you didn't?
I was in the queue and it's like, you know where you can see 2 coconuts? There's like 4 people. So, and people were, obviously saying how good they were. So I didn't get my coconut. But for me, Gary V, right? So because I'm into like marketing and all that online stuff. He's one of my people that I respect, even though he's a bit like Marmite. Some people love him, some people hate him. But I'm glad that I got to see him like live. I was like, he was here, and I could almost touch him. I feel like I'm fangirling, but yeah, that was cool. Then also, I really enjoyed the talk from Denai Guerrera. I love it when I see people that I respect already from film, and I get to hear them in real life, and then I respect you even more because of what you're doing. She's got I think it's a foundation, and she's basically in the trenches helping for more inclusivity in the industry.
One of the things I loved about what she was open enough to admit during her talk as well was that she makes mistakes as well. That there's times when she stereotyped somebody and then had to kind of check herself and think, oh, actually, let me take a step back here. I think that kind of honesty was quite appreciated. I think
it was good to see. Definitely refreshing.
Yeah, I think I would also add the Equality Lounge was just like...
I loved it.
It was amazing because like...
I never got to any of those.
That was...
Like the types of conversations, the panel, like they even have like a panel now that they've launched where it's literally just of males, but men talking about it from a women's lens. Because most of the time, like men don't necessarily have the opportunity to input into a conversation when it comes to like the female conversation. So what was interesting is like they created like a panel of like fathers and of husbands and where they actually have daughters and they have nieces and stuff, and they spoke about how their journey and how it kind of pivoted because of these types of experiences and what they are doing as allies to help and support. Because I realised like with the equality space, you actually need to get all genders involved for us to actually make that change, right? So the fact that they had that panel and they're saying like moving on, they're going to make sure that that panel exists every year moving forward. I think that's powerful. That was good.
I agree with you. The Equality Lounge was fantastic. That alone for me was enough. I could have spent all my time there. It was brilliant. The talks were so good, so in depth, and also speaking to some of the speakers off like the stage, there was so much insight that I gained from speaking to them one-to-one as well. But yeah, that was Equality Lounge is like number one for me. And I actually really liked Inkwell.
I was waiting for someone
to say I really liked Inkwell.
Like...
So there was a talk, I cannot remember the name of the talk, but I remember this, I had filmed him talking. I think he was from Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble. Yeah. And I was like, this man, and he was a white man talking the things. Really? He was literally like, he was just calling bluff basically and just saying, you know, companies need to put the money where their mouth is. You know, they need to just saying what needs to take place for diversity to really be effective. Because what I find with DEI talks, there's a lot of surface talk, but there's no.
absolutely.
But they've actually done the action. So I'm respecting what he's saying and what he's doing. His talk was fantastic, or him featuring on the panel. Was you there for that one?
I didn't. I missed it.
He was good.
Or I was probably eating.
Oh yeah, Inkwell.
You have to grab that
It's the
table.
food.
12 to 2.
You're the food.
12 to 2.
What did you order?
What didn't I order? I made the mistake of missing it, I think, on the first few days. And now, do you know what? I'm going to set my alarm. 11:30.
Alarm, you know.
Literally
I
everything
did.
now.
I did. I had to.
Chicken. I learned the difference. Well, I think I forgot now, but there's dark chicken and there's white chicken.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And then the steak.
Yeah.
You know.
The dark chicken, I think, is the one on a bone, and then the
Yeah.
white chicken is to do with breast, or it's to do with like the wing and the breast.
Yeah.
Anything to do with the thigh and leg is like dark chicken because it cooks longer. Like it was just a whole conversation with the chef.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is good.
The food was on point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like Inkwell was like, you know, it was a lot of, you go there to be with your peoples and then you go out back into the world. You know, like, I'm gonna go Inkwell for a bit.
From home. Yes, it was.
I'm gonna power up at Inkwell and then I'm gonna go back out.
If you get lost, if you don't know where anyone
Go
is,
Inkwell.
go Inkwell,
Literally.
find someone there.
That's what I did as well. I was like, oh, don't have anyone around me. Let me go Inkwell. I'm sure I'll see
And it was cool
someone.
because there's people that I saw at Inkwell and then obviously I will see them at, I saw them at Issa Rae's, I saw them at the, what's that brunch that we went to? The brunch with the same place where Issa Rae's party was.
The cookout.
Sorry, the cookout. Sorry,
Yeah.
The villa.
And and then it's like, you know, when you see people on the street, on the strip, and it's like, I've seen you at Inkwell, I've seen you at, then you're just like, you just get the
Batman nod.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like we see each other. So talking of that, right? Don't you think, not in a bad way, but don't you think black culture in America and black culture in the UK is so different?
Absolutely.
Very.
Completely different.
Very.
Completely different. My friend was engaged to a black American woman, and just everything, how they approach life, like their experiences, the jokes that, you know, there's African jokes and Caribbean jokes, and she didn't get any of those jokes. And they were just, the whole world is completely different. Yeah, completely different.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's just an observation that I made as well through conversation.
But what I did notice is there's a lot of strong entrepreneurship, like strong enterprising spirit, you know, and in that Inkwell, there was a lot of what I could see as, you know, like heads of organizations and, you know, people at the top of their, I guess, chain. And to me, that was great because obviously we've got people doing, you know, things in the UK and, you know, there's a lot, but it just seems like it seems like a different, like, it's like normal. Do you know what I mean? It seemed like, okay, this is
It's the
standard.
baseline.
Yeah.
And didn't we say that, Alicia, that we need to move to the States?
Literally,
Yeah.
I was having this
Yeah.
conversation today on a Zoom call. I was like, I think if I go to the States, I'd excel because they will just, like, everything I do is like, yeah, that's normal. Yeah, for 6 figures. Yeah, that's normal. Come, let's go again. Let's dominate.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, do you know what I mean?
I love that energy.
The States is the best of, it's the best and the worst,
It's
though.
true.
That's the thing.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of downsides as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel there's other places in the world where there wouldn't be the downsides that there are in America.
I get you.
Like what downsides? I mean, I know they might seem obvious,
Getting
but just
shot
to...
for being black, maybe. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being shot for not putting on your indicator when you're turning,
Yeah.
or selling cigarettes, or taking your phone out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Some of those things.
Yeah.
So those kind of things about America. Obviously, like I say, it's like the very best and the very worst, hasn't it? It's a really, when I look in from the outside, I think it's a really strange kind of place.
I agree. The thing is, I feel like I would go there for my entrepreneurial boost and come back, potentially. I wouldn't have my kids there. Do you know what I mean? I'll just go there for a little bit of a spiciness and come back again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was incredible. Talking about black people experiences, what party stood out to all of you? Like what was the best party?
Quarantine.
I just remember Bolaji in a circle, and everyone was like, yeah, Bolaji was doing some leg work.
I forgot myself for a minute. I'm Bolaji. Wait, I don't do this. No, I'm joking, but it was fun. It was fun.
I think that was the best party for me,
Club quarantine.
Yeah. I had such a good time.
Yeah.
I preferred was it the TikTok party?
I didn't go to the TikTok party.
Oh, TikTok
I heard a
was
lot
good
about
too,
it.
though.
TikTok was so
Yeah,
good.
because for me as well, the music was better at TikTok. Like that, like I find that how some American DJs play, where they play one of this and then one of another genre and one of another genre.
Okay.
You can't get into a vibe because 1 minute you're listening to Michael Jackson and then you're listening to Bobby Brown. And it's like, where was the connection? And then there's a Celine Dion or something.
Yeah.
So and I don't think we're used to that in the UK. We're used to, there's
sets.
Yeah, people are doing an R&B set or they're doing a house set, and then you can get your little vibe on kind of thing. So I felt that TikTok had a bit more kind of consistency like that. So I liked TikTok better.
I wish I would have went to TikTok because I did hear.
It was good.
Someone used your name. I gave someone your name.
I used somebody's name to get into Issa Rae, so
What about the red cup thing? Remember the red? We had a mission getting that red cup.
But I didn't get there on time. I heard the food was good, but
you didn't need it in the end.
They just let me in. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Some people were angry about that.
I didn't know. See, that's what they told me.
Yeah, I think a lot of things about the party. I mean, don't get me wrong. The party was, it was a nice party, but the secret location wasn't secret.
Yeah.
Everybody knew where it was, and then the red cup was just a bit of a
to make it feel.
But do you know what? I wish that party was closer to the Strip.
I hear you.
I just wish it was a bit closer.
Yeah.
Alex walked it there and back.
I heard it was 40 minutes.
Alex walked it there and back.
A 40
minute
minute
we were
walk.
getting in a cab. He was like, "Oh, it's only a 30-minute walk." We were like,
30-minute walk.
Let me get him.
No.
Let me get him back.
Up the hill.
Yeah.
If
he walked there and back.
No, stop. I'm not doing it. When I saw that hill, I said, I don't know how people walk there. This is madness. That wasn't no short walk. Half an hour.
I don't think it was either.
No, but you know what? I think I really enjoyed Club Quarantine as well because it was different. Like it was. I felt like my mum would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My mum would have loved it because
I'm older, innit? So maybe that's why.
That's why
it was uncle's party.
No, but I liked it because I was like, do you know what? I love music anyway, so I was like, yes, music, it's vibes, and it was the first. I feel like on that night, I was thinking, how far do I go with the twerking? Because obviously this is professional, but like people, like we're black. Do you know what I mean? So like I was struggling. Look, I was like, how far do I go with it? But by the end of TikTok, I was done. I was rocking up.
One guy literally walked past you in a suit, and he was like, "I'm loving what you're doing." Some white CEO. I was just like, "Is that how Alicia is?" Yeah, she catches them like that. And he said he whispered it like in a way where it was just like no one else could hear, but I saw it all.
Lip red.
And then Alicia was just like, "Oh, thanks." So just fixed her hair.
I don't even remember. But I remember at campaign there was one of these white guys love me off, and I was thinking, he's got jungle fever. He's got jungle fever. Like that's what I was thinking. But it's okay. We welcome the jungle fever. It's okay. It's fine. We like it.
My friend actually met her husband in Cannes.
Oh, is it?
She's a black woman and he's a white guy.
Okay.
She met him in Cannes a few years ago.
All right.
A festival like this.
Yep.
Okay.
In Cannes as well.
Amazing.
Okay.
No, it happened.
You never know. It's all right.
At least you know that everybody there is, going places.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. You don't have to do no deep dive check.
Everybody's doing what they're doing. So
No, it's true. Yeah. So talking of that then, why do you think it's relevant for black people to go to Cannes? Because I feel like there was a bigger push this year from the States and also from the UK for black people to be in Cannes. Why is that important?
Access.
Yeah, access, proximity.
Proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had a few chats with this about this with people afterwards, and I've been thinking about it. So definitely what has been achieved, what the Black British Network did, what Surface did is amazing, and I'm all for it because there's a level of access that I didn't fully. I'm still fully grasping. Like we got so much access, more access than some other people who were there, and I think it's nice to be in an environment where we have the access just because we have value. As in, there's no other. As in, I'm not doing it to fill a quota. I'm not doing it to make somebody, feel better about their, corporate social responsibility. It's just because, we're supposed to be in those places. And I think the message that it sent and that it sends, I think is a very powerful message. And I hope that it causes more things like this to happen. And so I love it. Yeah.
And I think that kind of access is something that some people take for granted, and
Yeah.
are probably wondering why we're all so amazed by it. Because I know that for some people that I've spoken to, and I have been talking about how amazing it is, they're like, why? Because it's just so standard for them. It's standard for them to go to those events.
Yeah.
It's standard for them to be speaking to the CEO of this person. It's standard for them to have got a contract because they were having a drink with somebody at the bar. All of that is just every day to them. So to be in those spaces and to actually be one of the people on the inside almost, it is so important, because how else do you level up if you don't have the same opportunities as a person that does get that kind of access? Because meeting somebody on LinkedIn, you're not going to have the same relationship with them as you are, speaking to them at a bar, going to a corporate event somewhere. Again, it's not going to be the same. The fact that there's the sun, and the fact that you're clubbing together as well as going to workshops, as well as chilling together, all of those kind of things all contribute to a more intricate relationship, a closer relationship. So you are able to have conversations that you probably wouldn't anywhere
100%.
else. So it's important for Black people to be there, just to be able to have that same access to opportunity, because you're so close to the people that you want to talk to.
100%.
Contribute, right? Just to contribute to the conversation. The value is already there, so it's like it just makes sense. We're already adding value without even the access. So imagine the value that we could add when we are just given that equal playing field. But I think for me, what was interesting is that we all had like the gold pass, which was the highest pass you can ever get. But there were still access issues to get into certain beaches.
Yeah.
So it's still interesting to know that, like, imagine if you just, off your own back, purchased yourself a gold pass. You could still get into certain places, but there's still like a barrier there. It's literally about who you know, because they would look at your gold pass at a certain beach and say, but you're not a client, or you don't know X, so you can't come in.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to still see. Yeah, it's still interesting to see that there is that level of like a ceiling almost that we still have to keep on pushing to get through.
100%. I mean, I noticed that as well. Like, it was definitely about contacts and who you know. And I really hope that everyone that went also got their own contacts for future Cannes events as well. But even at the back of Cannes, there's 5 in-person meetings like that I have with people that I met, all CEOs or managing director. That would not happen. That will not happen from LinkedIn. They might give you a Zoom call or make you speak to their PA, but to come into the office and for me to talk to you or go to breakfast in London, I'm not gonna. I was shocked when they followed up and said, yeah, we can have a meeting, and I realised it's because you felt my energy. It's true. You can't feel my energy over LinkedIn or email. So it's because, and I felt like when I was in Cannes having conversations with people, I didn't feel rushed. Sometimes you feel rushed, like, oh, I got to quickly say what I'm saying.
You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds or you got 15 minutes window.
Yeah.
But I was like, we're chilling. We can have a conversation. I can listen to you. You can listen to me. It's free flowing. And that, for me, if we have more Black people in those spaces doing that, ultimately, the Black pound, we're just going to keep increasing value over time. So, with that being said, for next year and for years to come, what more do you want to see from the Black British community specifically at Cannes?
The Black British community?
Yeah.
Black British
network. Yeah.
Okay.
So not network, but the community. What do you want? Okay. What do you want more from us? What more should we be doing potentially, or are we doing enough?
Well, not enough of us know about it for a start.
Yeah.
Literally all of my friends that I've spoken to, they were like, I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
One day I woke up on LinkedIn and everybody's there.
Yeah.
My friend True, who's very connected and knows most of the people that were there. He knows Bolaji as well. He said I woke up and all of a sudden everybody's posting beaches in Cannes, and I'm thinking, no one told me. No one invited me to the party.
I heard someone got blocked on LinkedIn because they were considered a bot because they kept on doing hashtag blackout can on everything.
I did on Instagram. I got blocked on Instagram.
You got blocked?
That
Yeah.
literally
Why did they block you?
algorithm thought that is a
blocked me for a
bot.
week until after I thought I was a bot because I was posting too much.
Yes,
That's mad.
literally.
So
That's crazy.
yeah, so people still don't know about it, and
Okay.
I think for me, I know that my networks know about it because I've
you
spoken
went,
about it
yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
So for anybody that isn't connected to somebody that went and also spoke about it a lot, then why would you necessarily know? Because there are these kind of festivals that happen all over the place. It's not just Cannes.
Yeah.
There's lots of other festivals, and I mean, how many do we know about?
Exactly.
No, that's what that made me think. I was thinking this can't be the only one.
It's
then.
not. It's not.
So many.
They literally travel between festivals. A lot of the CEOs do.
And then they have their team follow up on the intricate stuff and make the money.
Yeah.
Nice life. I
Not
like
bad
it.
at all.
I was saying the same thing because it's like, I feel like the Cannes Lions Festival it wasn't that well known before, but it's not even that well known in black circles, but it's known now maybe in the creative and the media circles to some extent.
Yeah.
But I was just there thinking to myself, I wish I could tell this person, because I'm technically from a different industry. I'm coming from banking and finance and some other areas, and it's like there are so many people on a level in these industries that could get involved. And
absolutely.
so for me, to answer your question, it would be like, let more people, let more people come, let more people know about it, because then we can represent even more. You know? Yeah.
And I think that it's not only, like you say, it's not only people in the creative industries that would benefit.
Exactly.
I've got friends that are in completely different industries, and I was like, oh my gosh, who was there? You could have been talking to this person.
Exactly.
Directly to that person. And these are people that have got nothing to do with creativity, but because of the people that are in the room, there is literally connections for everybody there.
Yeah.
I told my dad to
Connections for
come.
everybody.
I said, Mum, Dad, you love it there, to be honest. They'll have a great time. In whatever capacity. They've got places in Jamaica, loads of Airbnbs. You never know.
Yeah.
You might meet people that want to go to Jamaica. There's so many different angles on things as well. But did you want to say anything, Sinead, about...
I think all of the key points were there, just like that awareness piece, I feel like also everyone that went should have a responsibility to make sure they're telling their community.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, because I think it's just through that. And also, there are many that do know about it, but they just weren't given the access. Like, for instance, was it Demi, for instance, who's worked in the industry for 30 plus years, and it was only through Cephas that he was able to get through. So it's also about, I think, if you work in a creative space or you work somewhere within a corporate company that goes every year, maybe trying to see how you can navigate internally to demand like spaces to be allocated as well would be impactful.
We were saying that as well. I can't remember who I was speaking to, but I was saying, imagine the people that have been coming here for 10 plus years, the CEOs or, the people that, at the top of the organisation. And imagine the fact that you come here every year, you meet the same people, you have the same conversations, you know them all already. Like, 1 year, could you not come?
Exactly.
And let somebody else come and represent
No,
the
for real. Like
organisation.
that, and the thing is, that's the conversation that they're not ready to have.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're going to need to step back for someone else to step forward from an underrepresented group. Period. And I've always said this is just in regards to organisations. With schools, there's like a running time for the head teacher and principal. So they have so they have to reapply. Yeah, that's reapply like after I think 3 or 4 years. And I think it should be the same in companies, so it gives other people the chance to step into CEO. Otherwise, people will be sitting there for 10 years in CEO position with no one else given the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? So rotate. I agree with that. With black people or individuals, professionals, beautiful kings and queens watching this that want to go to CAM, what advice would you give to them about how to best make the experience like valuable and impactful? What advice that you wish you had before you went?
Prep. I would say definitely, do your research, know who's gonna be out there, and know what opportunities you could potentially be in a situation where there will be one. But also, like, if you're not that used to networking, and if you're not that used to, conversing with people on a level, get a mentor. Try and get someone who can help you to get to that level, because it's one thing having a stage laid out for you, but if you're not ready to take the stage, then you're going to miss out on opportunity, in my opinion.
Good advice.
I think what Bolaji says about prep, for me, it's the prep is in understanding how it works. So I've literally taken my friends through, there's a stretch of beach, and each brand has got its own beach club, for want of a better word, and there they have a stage and they have a bar and they have comfortable, and I've literally spoken my friends through everything and shown them pictures and shown them videos, etc., because I think that's what was missing for me. I still, like I said earlier, I still went into it kind of blind, not knowing exactly what was where, or I knew there were workshops, but like I said, I didn't get this whole thing about just seeing the beach all the time. So for me, the prep would be watch people's videos. If there's stuff on YouTube, watch the stuff on YouTube, listen to as many podcasts as you can that literally describe everything that's happening, so that at least you can go into it thinking, okay, so I know that I'm going to want to do some workshops, but I also know I need to make some space for networking. I know I need to make some space to chill. Where are the places that people are chilling? You know, which are the workshops that are worth going to? So all of that prep, it's just as much research as you possibly can.
I would also add to that, actually, the Can Lion app is your best friend. And what I mean by that is, like, you have access also to the website where it actually gives you the schedule in advance in terms of like the stages or who's speaking and where it's going to be. So for me, because it was my second time, I was a bit more intentional with that, because I knew through the first time that I wasn't sure what was what. And it was as simple also as within the app, there's like a networking or a connection opportunity. So you actually see who's actually going, and you have the option to say, I'm interested in this person, or I want to connect. And literally 15 people, I updated my profile, I put a quick little bio about myself, and 15 different people actually connected with me through the app to say, I'm interested in your profile. So for instance, one PR company wanted me to talk about my experience. Another guy was like, hey, I would really love to learn about what you do in a quality space. So again, it's like just preparing yourself in a best way, or ensuring that you are just positioning yourself for the right opportunities to come your way. So definitely use the app, definitely research the sessions, and just navigate from there.
Agree.
Yeah.
And you know what I almost think as well? I almost think as though you'd make a better use out of it on your second year. I almost think you need your first year to kind of find
As
your
a
feet.
tester, yeah.
Definitely.
And then the second year, okay, maybe I'm not doing that this time. I'm going to do more of that. Because I definitely look back and think there's things that I would have done differently.
It's true.
So, I think you need to kind of at least go 2 years to make the best out of it.
Is that kind of your experience coming there?
Yeah, definitely. And also, it was two different reasons why I went, right? The first reason was the first time Cephas launched that campaign. There was only 10 of us. Really, it was more of not even a tighter schedule, but we were more in a group where we were moving and navigating together. Whereas obviously if there was 50 of us, it was more like, okay, this is a real experience of what Can will be if you was to come with a batch of people or alone. Navigate it yourself. And that's what I really value, because I didn't have that before. I was more handheld last year. This was perfect this year.
I think as well, another thing that I would advise is have whatever it is that you need to have ready, because people look you up straight away. Like they see your LinkedIn profile or your website right in front of you, and I could be like, yeah, that's me. Correct. Or like, and you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I didn't do my website properly. I don't have this ready. So have whatever it is, whatever links you need to have, portfolio, have that ready, because people will look at it there and then. And then also, I have an intro template. So if someone needs to intro me to someone else, I just say, here's a quick intro on me. Just add your name and sign it. Make their job as easy as possible when it comes to like introing. So do that.
When you say intro template, what do you mean? Can you just break that down?
So I'll have like a template that says, hey, say Bolaji, I met with Alicia today. She does XYZ, this. I think it might be worth connecting with her on XYZ. She CC'd in an email, like an email template.
If you meant like an app or...
No. No, email template. Because really and truly, when you think about it, say you're someone that's promised 10 intros and you've got to think about writing a quick intro about it, but you want to make their job easy so that there's no excuse for the intro, and that's actually helped me to convert some meetings in person. So that's something else that I would advise. And a bit fickle, but have your outfits ready, please. Have your outfits. No, for real. You have to have your outfits ready because there's camera. There's camera. There's stability. There is it's important people, and you want to feel. I feel like when you look good, it opens conversation as well.
Yeah.
Like people, you like it just opens up. I love your hair. I love your shoes. I love your hat. And you want to be that guy or that girl, so just come as correct as possible.
Do you think obviously you two have both been before, so...
No, I haven't. It's my first time too.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so Sinead was definitely on point.
Every day at night.
We know that, she figured it out last year. This year she was like, yes, okay. So do you think you would have changed anything about that this year, clothes-wise, or...
100% me. My thing...
With the suit.
Listen, I'm just going to go to George.
George killed me.
George. Whatever George says out to it, I'm gonna go with his suggestion.
Yeah,
he was
George. The thing is, we even have like a quick award section at the end as well. That I was gonna say fashion, but he gets the fashion because fashion was on point, like on point. The thing is, the only thing is, I wish I had more casual, nice clothes because in the evening, there was one evening I was thinking, listen, this is like I'm going to a rave, but this is like an outdoor thing, so whatever. I've got this, I'm wearing it, but. Now I know the vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
I can just switch it up next time.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I observed a lot from the American guys as well because it's like the outfits they were wearing, they were kind of smart but also kind of casual. I was like, okay. Yeah.
And they always had something to really highlight their personality.
Yeah.
So like there was that lady that always had a hat for instance.
Yeah, the bold one.
Yeah.
You recognise her. Yeah. The hat to the side. Yeah. She was memorable.
Yeah.
Straight.
She had energy, like,
yeah. So have a signature thing maybe as well, whatever that is, so people can remember you. Because I remember if I saw someone's hair braided to the side, I'm like, yeah, that's Denise over there. Do you know what I mean? Sinead, usually with a hat, whatever. Sinead as well. If I see a black man in a suit, that's Bolaji. And the thing is, it wasn't even just shirt and pants and tie. It was the whole shebang. Nah. We know. I looked twice. I was like, what the hell's going on? But okay, on to the lighter things now. Awards. Let's give out some awards to people. So obviously the fashion award. Let's do male and female. So Mel, George, for those that don't know, check him out. I think his Instagram's It's Visionaire. I might add everyone's, even though everyone's not here, I might add everyone's links and stuff to the description so you can just see what we're dealing with. So George.
Did you see the day we wore the razor necklace and the explanation about the razor necklace?
What?
No.
So we had a necklace that had razors on it, and he said it's because I'm so sharp.
Wow.
Go away, George. Just get out. Get out of here. Where is George when we need him? I wish he was outside and we could come twirl and go around. The hell, I'm so sharp. I can't stand it, but I love it.
But he was, he actually was.
Oh, I love it. But actually, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he would the female fashion. I feel like he would female fashion.
I also would like to say Zarraine.
She
was very eccentric in owning her style, and it worked for her.
Yeah.
I loved that about her.
Yeah.
If there was a second place, for guys, Ramon.
He was fantastic. Remain looked good.
Remain.
Oh, sorry, Remain.
I even said Remain with you, knowing that his name is Remain. Remain. No, every time I saw Remain, I said, Remain, you're getting hotter and hotter. You can't touch you. No, he looked good. All right, cool. So who was the person always taking the best picture award? So always got the best shots from what we've seen so far, picture award. I feel like it'll be an insult about for me not to say Denise because she's sitting right here. But if you know anyone that always got the sickest pictures, shots.
There was a lot of good pictures,
Haruki was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I don't know how.
I mean, can we say Casey?
Video?
Casey?
Can we say Casey?
Casey was really good.
I feel like everyone that specialises in photography just
got the pictures. Okay. What about general content though? Like someone that really captured the sickest content pieces from what you remember.
I like Cavella's.
I was going to say Cavella's
Instagram.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. She was
I like how she's
very stylized and
5 days or 6 days or whatever that I've been meaning to do and haven't got around to, but she's got it done. It's up. It looks good. I like her. Her 5 days has been really good.
Yeah. Okay. What about Turn Up King and Turn Up Queen? I feel like Daniel is the king for me.
Yeah,
but Turn Up King and Turn Up Queen, always ready to turn up.
Yeah, Daniel can
it's
turn up
definitely
at
Daniel.
Like,
He'll bring
put a
the
tune
party
on your
everywhere.
phone now, and he's like, he's getting down.
I just open the Instagram pictures.
Even if it's like, even if it's Dolly Parton or something, he'll bring the energy.
Yes.
I don't know who was the turn-up queen.
Always on one.
Alicia, I feel like you were the turn-up queen, you know,
think it might
because you did an amazing job putting the program together, up early.
And out late.
Yeah.
And
I had
still
2 days,
having-
by the way.
and
Just
still
2 days to
have-
do the schedule.
Yeah.
Not
You
weeks,
smashed
2 days.
it, Yeah.
Like,
So, thank
and
you,
you
babes.
still were able to come out, live your best life. To a point where you're giving people jungle fever. And then you're back the next morning like, hi guys, make sure that you're up at 8.
Fever inducing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I
did
thought
good,
sounds
man.
no, but I had a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely in my element. Good memories. Thank you guys. Okay, so what about someone? Was anyone always hungry?
Yes.
Who was always hungry?
I don't know
Award.
if it's good to say.
No, it's not an insult. It's fine.
That's what I was
like
talking
Shakira
about
was
before,
for
but I
me.
don't know.
I was
voting,
always
I don't
hungry,
know.
but
I didn't notice
I
anyone
was always
else
like
but me.
equal eating.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. I feel like a bit rude.
No, is it rude? Okay, if it's rude, like Shakira, she owned it. Shakira was always hungry.
Okay, fair enough.
Always wanted
Yeah,
to eat
yeah,
food,
yeah.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah, networking king and queen.
You was a
Serene.
sick networker.
You were definitely the network.
I think you're the queen of the network.
Oh, thank you. I take that compliment. King.
King. Who did I see networking?
I know Armani did a lot.
Amani was
He
really
was
good.
like behind in the trenches,
Armani
behind the
was
scenes, just
good.
like. Yeah, he did a lot of networking.
Miles was also about
Miles
it.
was
he
always
he
about
cracked me
it.
up, but he
Yeah.
was definitely about his networking
Connecting, yeah.
as well. Yeah.
And the comedians, the men and female comedians in the group. That always made
Miles.
people...
Miles
Made me
yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
Was there a female?
If there
It
wasn't,
was
then it's
funny.
fine.
I'm trying to think. Z was actually. I'm not sure if you guys.
She
got
is a
to
very
spend
funny
time with
character.
her, but
Yeah.
I would say she literally gets that too, because anyone that was around her was always laughing,
That's so
always
good.
laughing in stitches.
Good energy.
So
Are there any free... I'm giving award freeness. Any other awards that anyone wants to give out to anyone for anything that stood out to them? If you haven't got it, it's fine.
I mean, we've got to give an award to Cephas. Like, the
Yeah,
biggest-
for like bringing the whole thing together.
Yeah. Definitely. Flowers.
I think Sophie Colfin needs to get an award.
For what? Lateness?
Sophie Colfie.
Oh, do you know what I had on here? The love award. Oh yeah, they
Sophie
made.
Colfie.
Oh yeah,
Sophie Kofi, that's a nice little.
it isn't it. They do get the love award. And they're really cute together as well.
they are.
Very
They are.
cute.
Cute together. Anyone else
That's it.
that you can think of?
The least sleep award, I think, possibly goes to Mercy, because she came out every night and got an hour's sleep and still
Got up in the morning.
got up and
Oh, wow.
she literally was like the last
Out
day
every
she was
night.
like, I'm tired. Your face is just
Because she was
face.
up every day. Wow. Do you know what? I want to give Benji an award for just good vibes and energy. Like, I felt like Benji always, like, when I caught him, he just, you know when someone just translates energy to you?
Yeah.
He always gave that to me. So, yeah, he's another one. But, yeah. And each of you, whilst you're all here as well, Sinead, you were absolutely, like, just sick to network with, sick to be with. I was so happy to
thank
meet
you,
you
thank you,
and
thank
to
you.
connect with you further. I know we knew each other beforehand, but not on the level that we do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where this goes, because you're a queen, you're amazing,
girl.
and you're really genuine, so appreciate you. Bolaji, you know how I feel already. You've come to my parents' house and had food the same day. He came to our parents' house, and the same day we landed, guys, he came and had rice and peas and
I
macaroni and
was
cheese.
getting a lift to Greenwich, but, you know.
Chatting to my
damn it,
auntie.
man. I wish
I don't
Like,
know your auntie,
so that says
yeah.
already you're invited to the barbecue. Do you know what I mean? You're all invited to the barbecue, but Bolaji, you came before there was an invite. So well done. And Denise as well, you give me such beautiful young energy, and I forget your age is a non-factor in all of this. Like, you're humble, you're so sweet, you've got a beautiful spirit about you, and you're so talented as well. So I just want to big you up and shout you out. So yeah, shout out all of you. Just big up yourself. And thank you all as well for being on this episode. Is there any last words, anything you want to push, promote, talk about before we wrap up?
I think I would encourage everybody that even if you don't get a place on on a scheme like the one that we've been on, I would actually encourage people to think about paying, to actually think about, like, it is actually an investment.
Agreed.
You don't have to get a gold pass. You can get, you know, there are other types of pass that can still get you access to many of the places. But I would really encourage people to think about paying, because, yeah, you're not going to get networks like that anywhere.
Yeah,
agreed.
Definitely. I would second that, and I guess, you know, just to add, people who don't know about CAN, who are in positions to make impact, you know, get to know about CAN, connect, you know, connect with the Black British Network, connect with Cephas, connect with us, you know, and let's go back next year and do some more damage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anything from you, Sinead?
Just literally the same thing that Dee and Bolaji just said. Check out Cephas Williams, check out Black British Network and the Blackout campaign if you want to know more. And feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions or you want to, like, you know, ask us about specific experiences in more detail. I'm really happy to kind of help as well.
Amazing, thank you. And I think everyone covered it. So that brings us to the end of this podcast episode. So thank you all for watching, tuning in, and you're welcome, because I brought you in on some amazing individuals, so you're welcome in advance. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Remember to share, like, rate, all the rest of it with this episode, because we want to get more Black people out into CAN and all the rest of it. And I'll see you all on the next Black Curate Connect podcast episode. Take care. Bye.